Okay, next we're going to look into JavaScript conditional statements. This is another important part of the JavaScript control flow. Okay, so if you're looking, I just want to repeat again, you have to understand comparison operators, you have to know logical operators, you have to know arithmetic operators, you have to know about arithmetics operators, the rules and so on. And another one, you also have to know in terms of making a decision. And making decision is very important, and how to implement them is by using a JavaScript conditional statements. Okay, so for JavaScript conditional statement, what you have to understand is about conditional statements, if statement, if else statement, if else statements. Okay, so this is the things that you should understand. Okay, number one, if statement. Use this statement to execute some code only if a specific condition is true. And then you have more complex one. If else statement. Use this statement to execute some code if the condition is true, and another code if the condition is false. And more complex one, if else statements. Okay, these three combination of if else statement is a very powerful one. Okay, if you look into W3 School, you can see a lot of example if else has been applied. See this, the if statements, and then you have you can try yourself if else statements, the way that you do if condition. This is normally mathematical equations. Okay, and then else you have a condition about it. Sorry, this is mathematical equations, and you if the condition is true, and it will trigger this part. Else if negative, if the condition is negative, it will go for the else. Okay, so that's the basic rules for if statements. So, and then you have the else if statement. So you have more than one condition, 1, 2, and so on. So you can have more than even 2, 3, 4, and something like that. Okay, so that's about conditional statements. Okay, if statements like this, if you're looking into our lecture notes, this is very clear code. Means that example here, var variable age is 20. If age is greater than 80, then you write qualify for driving. Else, you didn't put anything on else for this code. Okay, then if you put something more, okay, you can see, oops, getting crazy now. Okay, getting lost control. Okay, for if statements, you see this is sample code. If else statement, you just put another else and you put another conditional. Okay, similar to if else, and then you put expression refer to the mathematical condition equation. Normally, we have to transfer the expression through mathematical way. Okay, right, and then we have, apart from if else statements, we also have switch statement. This is much more convenient for certain student or certain programmer to use switch instead of using if else statement, but the result will be almost the same, will be the same. Okay, so what you should know in conditional statement, I just give to recap again what you should know. JavaScript conditional statement, if number one, if statement, normally start with if statement. Okay, and then we have to understand if else, and then if else, okay, and then switch statement. Okay, this is the one that you should understand in conditional statement. Now, when we move to another one that called looping, this is the last part of control flow, JavaScript control flow. For looping, you have to understand this. Okay, looping that can be divided into two kind of loop only. Okay, in JavaScript and most of the programming language. Number one, they will be based on for. Number two will be based on while loop and for loops. Okay, These two things is the most important things in JavaScript control flow of looping. Okay, see this example. For, and then you have the condition, which is a mathematical equation here. Var start value, var less or equivalent to end value, and var increment of the variables values, and then code to execute. This is something example, real example. If you put it like this is a mathematical equation with condition, and then this is the execution codes. So that's for loop. And then while loop is something same, but the way of writing is slightly different. In this case, you put, let's say, I initial value of 0. While the condition is fulfilled, then you trigger this coding. Okay, do code to be executed while this is the what we call a condition or rule a condition. Okay, so additional statement, you may go for break statement. In this case, you are putting some what we call you have a loop, and if you want to break the loop, you want to go out from the loop, so you have to use a break statement. In this case, you can use okay, break statement will terminate you from executing the loops like this. Okay, you just put a break. Okay, so for example, if you test the code here, you got something related with, okay, you have a loop numbers 1, 2, 0, 1, and 2, and you want to move out from loop, okay, exit from the loop, you are using break like this. So that's the way how what we call a JavaScript of loop that you should consider. Okay, what you should understand in JavaScript loop, there are two kinds. Is number one is for, number two is while. Okay, that's all that you should understand on JavaScript loop. It's quite straightforward and quite simple to understand. Okay, next I just want to give some introduction about functions. Okay, the function is very important for most of the programming in the world, because what makes JavaScript so special is because of it built-in function. Means that they have 1,000 of built-in function that refer to JavaScript functions. For example, date, times, and so on, that will already have a built-in function in JavaScript, because you don't have to do any programming of it. Just call the function and that's it. Okay, a function can be defined as a block of code. Okay, a function can be defined as a block of code that designed to perform a specific task, a particular task. Okay, so how to one of the things that you should understand is one of the first thing you should understand in order to understand function is how to define function. Another important thing, important step in JavaScript function is how to call or evoke the function. That's only two things you should understand in JavaScript. Okay, let me see one by one. Okay, JavaScript function involve two steps only. One is define, another one is call or evoke to execute the functions. So before that, you have to understand the function syntax, how to write the function. This is quite straightforward. Function, and then you have a function name, and you have a parameter 1, parameter 2, or parameter n. Okay, that's the way how you define the function. Right, and then you have a return value, the value that you want to show to the user or to the system itself. So you have a return value. Okay, so this is example for function declaration and calling. Okay, if you look here, calculation the discount. The name of this function is calculate the discount. Okay, normally we close the name of the function with parentheses. Okay, you see this parenthesis. Okay, and then you put a symbol set, curly hair set, and then you have variable item price 1 to 0.55 and so on. This is the variables, and then document write the sentence of the variables itself, and oops, something here happened. The slide. Okay, so if you look carefully, this is the way how to calculate the function. Sorry, how to define the calculate the discount. Then how to evoke the function is by using JavaScript again. See here, this is a script. Okay, forget about types. Okay, script and script. This is another script. Okay, script calculate the discount. This is how you evoke the function, how you call. Means that you have a declare, okay, define, declare, define. Another one is call and evoke. That's only two things to understand. So this is another example. Rectangular area. You calculate the area of rectangular. Okay. Second example. Okay. What you should understand in JavaScript is only two things. Okay. Number one, define. Number two, call or invoke. Okay, that's two things you should understand in JavaScript functions. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you.